So, tell me about the song that you wrote, Harley Someday. What inspired you to write that song?
Oh, we were doing a live album from the Iron Horse Saloon here in Ormond Beach, and I've been doing free concerts at the Allan Horse Saloon for the past 20 years. Appreciation concerts to the fans, people that ride motorcycles and so forth. And I just had seen over the years a change in the kind of people that was coming here. And then this particular year, there was a lot of, I guess you call them yuppies, but people that were lawyers and doctors and so forth that had big fancy motorhomes pulling trailers with their motorcycles in it, and like weekend bikers, you know. And I got to thinking about it, and I got thinking, you know, come on, David, don't you remember? I started out with a Cushman motor scooter, and then I got a Wizard motorbike.
Yeah.
And this is years and years ago, you know. And then I graduated up to a little Suzuki and a Honda, and finally got my first Harley Davidson, you know. And I think, you know, back in those days, I mean, it was hard to come by Harley Davidson. I mean, you know, for guys like me, you know, poor guys. And so, but over the years, you have a tendency to forget that, you know, we all started out riding them Hondas and all that stuff, you know. And I thought, you know, that's a funny thing, you know, to write a song about that, and also, you know, like from my standpoint, that it was funny, you know, because I see all these people that, well, for an example, when I recorded for Columbia Records, and when I used to ride my motorcycle, they used to make me park 3 blocks away. And 10 years later, when I drove by there, there's a sign on the front of the building that says motorcycle parking only. You know? So all them record executives got motorcycles, and it was cool to have a motorcycle, yeah. And it was cool to have your parking. But back in the day, you know, they made me park three blocks away. You know, they didn't want that motorcycle sitting in front of their building, you know. And
it got to be fashionable to be a biker all of a sudden.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's you know, it's just and I think that the Harley Davidson people started an ad campaign a few years ago to try to promote Harley Davidson motorcycle to a different kind of people. Harley Davidson motorcycles were pretty much associated with outlaw motorcycle clubs, 1%er motorcycle clubs across the country, in different places, and I think that Harley Davidson didn't like that image. They didn't, and so they started shying away from people like me promoting their motorcycles to people that were like movie stars, you know, riding their motorcycles and promoting that. And you don't have to be a tough guy to ride a Harley Davidson was one of their slogans, you know. And I think that it worked because a lot of people started riding Harley Davidsons that pretty much, I think that they were in a big competition with the Honda Red Wing. I think most of those kind of people was really into that Honda motorcycle, that big Honda motorcycle with the big seats and the radio and all that.
The Gold Wing.
The what now?
The Gold Wing.
The Gold Wing.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't have any doubts that that's one of the things that Harley Davidson was trying to do was not only that, but they were they were saying American made, but in those years Harley Davidson was not American made, and Harley Davidson they was having stuff made overseas and different things, and so you know I remember back that when I was younger, I mean I pretty much fix everything on my motorcycle with a pair of pliers and a screwdriver and some wire and tape, you know.
Yeah.
And Jesus, I wouldn't even know where to begin these days on how to fix something that went wrong or whatever, you know.
When you were singing that song, I noticed certain people were getting offended when they were, as you were describing them as being wannabes, you know.
Yes.
And some of them were kind of feeling like, hey, you know.
But then the end of the song.
But when you get to the end and you get that zinger,
yeah,
it's like we
all forget that we all started out just like that. Then they get the picture. I think that motorcycles have always been a part of rock and roll's always been a part of motorcycles. You know, I mean, I just know so many people in the music business that are also into motorcycles. You know, I myself have tried a lot of different motorcycles over the years, and I seem to keep always going back to the same thing. When I was younger, I just liked panhead motorcycles, and I just you know, I wrote a song called Panheads Forever, and to me it was just I just felt like I was more in tune and like just part of the road. You know, my motorcycles were always hardtails. They were always you know, wow, I couldn't do that these days at my age. You know, I couldn't handle that. But
is there something about the is it just the look or the sound of the panhead, or is it just because that was part of your era when you got into it?
I just knew everything about it. I could take it apart blindfolded and put it back together. You know?
Yeah.
I just knew everything there was about that motorcycle, which to me was important. I mean, you know, when I was out there on the highway, I mean, for the first, I mean, you might find this hard to believe, but when I first started in the music business, when I first went to Nashville, I didn't own an automobile. All I had was a motorcycle, and that's what I was telling you earlier. Whenever I would ride, they would make me park it down the street. They wouldn't let me park at the record company, you know. But that's all I had. I had a motorcycle. That was my total form of transportation. I had to ride it in the rain. I had to ride it in the snow. I didn't have no other way to get anywhere, you know. And in those days, you know, it was not easy, you know, getting around, you know, and so that was the only form of transportation that I had. And then I got into, when I lived in the Key West, you know, and down in the Keys, I got into the boat. You know, I had to sail boats and all that stuff pretty much, and we used to take our motorcycles on the boats and take it with us, you know, when we would sail somewhere, and then, you know, we'd have our bikes when we got off, and it was just a way of life, you know, and it was a free way of life, a free-form style, free-form lifestyle. It cost me a lot in the music business because of my lifestyle and because of, you know, there's a lot of people that, there was a lot of resistance to my records, a lot of resistance to me, you know, because of my lifestyle. And that's okay. I mean, that's fine too, you know. I survived it all, and I've made a great living doing what I like to do.
I'm glad you're still doing it after all these years, man. I appreciate it.
All right.
I love you, man. Thanks.